to go to make our return to the mini GPs.
We are back with our mini GP races. Postponed earlier, red flagged in their first attempt due to a crash with Mason Johnson. As mentioned earlier, Mason is in good health and spirits. He's on his way to hospital to recover from his injuries sustained in the crash. We'll update you further when we know more. We tried to get this race back underway a second time, but unfortunately one or two of the parents were involved in recovering the incident, so we are now heading for third time lucky. We have, I think, more than 5 bikes out for this one. We had 5 come out for the restart. It appears to be, I don't know, we might have 5 here now. We'll let you know who they are as and when they come round. I think we do have 5, Howard. And let's see who's coming round. We have Zach Shelton is the first to take grid position.
He's going to line up grid 2. Bailey Stewart Campbell is going to take the pole position that's, blimey, he's taken up that position on the grid 3 times today. So it's him.
Jack Hirsch is there taking up 4th, which is effectively 2nd. Rossi Brown is on our near side, on the left-hand side. Him and Zach Shelton in very similar liveries. Number 48 has just rolled up on the grid. That's Ollie Walker. He's going to start in 2nd place. Number 5 has joined us at the back. That's Jack Worth. And then we have the white and green bike of, who is that? Is that Joe Woodward?
Yes, I believe it is. So it's been a long old wait here for this class, but we're finally underway again.
What a start from Zach Shelton. Sorry
yeah,
to talk over you, Howard.
No, that's fine.
Where
did that come from? Is that Zach Shelton or is it Rossi? It is Zach Shelton,
Zach Shelton.
isn't it?
Rossi takes 3rd place around the outside of the hook. And also a good start from Joe Woodward.
Yeah, absolutely. That was... I'm amazed by that start. Yeah, no, by all means, talk over me when that stuff's happening, mate.
I think Joe Woodward was one of the ones who was on slicks. Obviously, you can see why they wanted to change.
That's a good point. That is a good point, isn't it? It's to do with which tyres they're on at this stage, or how good those tyres are. But Zach Shelton isn't in shot at the moment because he's so far up the road.
He's coming down the back straight now. He's got at least, I want to say, 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you there.
Rossi Brown's in 2nd place now. Number 5 of Jack Worth is in 3rd, having started right at the back.
Right, here's your order then. Zach Shelton crosses the line with a 57.96. Next is Rossi Brown, then Jack Worth, Bailey Stewart Campbell, Joe Woodward, Jack Kirsch and Ollie Walker to round out the 7 bikes we have running. Well, we're used to the Metrakit GP bikes running faster in this category, but not so here. As we've got a challenge going on here. Is this over 2nd place? Is this Jack Worth versus Rossi Brown? Just coming into shot there, and he's got the job done, has Jack Worth. So I've been told that they're actually Metrakit GP70s in spite of what's coming up on the screen as GP50.
Yep. Shelton crosses the line to complete lap 2. Jack Worth looks to follow him. Rossi Brown down in 3rd. And our pole sitter is coming through in 4th place. That's Bailey Stewart Campbell.
Yep, absolutely.
Behind him we have Jack Kirsch, Joe Woodward and Ollie Walker. Shelton is 6 seconds a lap quicker than Woodward and Walker.
Well, he's 6 seconds up the road.
He's 7 seconds up the road from Jack Worth.
Yes.
Yeah, really flying in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. the other MGP, the other mini GP 140 riders are now getting more on a par with Shelton's pace, but the damage has been done, as it were, or not the damage, the exact opposite of it from Shelton's perspective, because he's now well out in front as he comes round to complete another lap, and another fastest lap of the race, a 56.77. As Jack Worth crosses the line, just 6/10 ahead of Rossi Brown in third place. Then comes your pole sitter, and still leading within the Metrakits 70 runners, Bailey Stewart Campbell, then Jack Kirsch and Joe Woodward, and then Ollie Walker.
Yes,
As is that. Was that an umbrella just dripping in front of the camera, or is it actually raining again out there?
I think it was an umbrella. We are following on screen Jack Kirsch, Joe Woodward and Ollie Walker, as I believe Walker slides at the inside of Woodward and, yes, takes 6th place.
Yeah, good little battle this.
The only other battle realistically out on track is between Worth and Brown for 2nd place. They are heading down the back straight now. Yes, we'll keep following these three, Kirsch, Woodward and Walker, as we go into the 5th lap.
Yes, yep. Completed 4 laps has Zach Shelton. I don't blame you for losing count, because he's been doing them so quickly, it's almost hard to believe with that far in. So, Shelton continue. I said that the other riders have gotten to Shelton's pace, but not quite. He's still got some 0.5 of a second in hand with his lap times. Jack Worth setting a 56.8, and Rossi Brown on that last lap going slightly quicker than Worth. So that battle for second is closing back up again on that last lap. But this is the battle towards the back of the field.
Yes, change for 6th. Woodward has got back ahead of Walker. He's quicker through that last part of the lap as Walker takes a look up the inside here. But yeah, Woodward on the exit of the hairpin, steamed back into 6th place.
These 9 to 15-year-olds riding well, of course. Cannot forget the tricky conditions that they're in with the damp surface, as the battle we're looking at works its way through the dell. Has Ollie Walker got past Joe Woodward there? Have I made that
Woodward
up?
is on
oh,
the
sorry,
green
no,
bike.
yeah. We do have to. We are looking at a relatively small. We may have had a monitor break here in the comms box, so we are looking at a fairly small screen today. But there we go. Across the line they go, and you're absolutely right, Jacob. Kirsch still ahead of Woodward and Walker. Fastest lap of the race, though, just come courtesy of Bailey Stewart Campbell, who is in 4th place and is, of course, running the Metrakits GP70 bike. So. Is it just a case that as the circuit drives out, we see the balance of power switch back to the Metrakits, which would sort of line up with the logic? There he was crossing the line with Stuart Campbell. So yes, he's now coming back onto pace, and he's only a couple of seconds behind Rossi Brown in 3rd. So if he's able to turn this back on, if as the conditions change, the bike comes back to him, this could bring about a bit of an upset. There's still 5.5 laps to go of this one, so plenty of time for things to change.
We are following Jack Worth and Rossi Brown. You'll be able to see Bailey Stewart Campbell lingering in the back of the shot. There's a glimpse of him there. I think it helps that Worth and Brown are pushing each other around, but Bailey Stewart Campbell got about half a second a lap on them so far, and is currently about 2 seconds down.
Yep. Absolutely can help that the two of them are encouraging each other around, but it looks to have gone down again, the gap this lap. What's the time as Bailey Stewart Campbell crosses the line? He sets another fastest lap of the race, a 54.77. The gap is going down, and Stewart Campbell is going to be right on the scene with these two in a matter of moments. There he is, and down goes Rossi Brown. Oh no, at Surtees, exactly where we've seen, exactly where we saw, it was David Barfoot, wasn't it? He lost it there earlier on. Rossi Brown is down, gutting for him, and he's gone out of 3rd place. Well, that was the first obstacle out of the way for Bailey Stewart Campbell.
He now moves on to the back of Jack Worth, or what will do, across the course of the next lap. There's a bit of a gap between the two of them. Zach Shelton comes through the hook now. We have 4 laps remaining. Has Rossi Brown got going again, Howard? I think he has. I think he's just picked his bike up and has recovered ahead of this battle between Kirsch, Woodward and Walker. I think Rossi Brown will come through in 4th.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be disappointed, but he was riding very well up until that point. And so hopefully he'll be able to dust himself off and get back on the pace, because the field's fairly spread out. There's still stuff to race for here. And of course, if anything happens in this battle over second place, then he could still be a beneficiary of it. In fact, he's actually got going again, I can see, and he's
crossed the line now.
Yeah, he's
in
just
4th place.
He's not a million miles ahead of away from Zach Shelton.
Yes, Shelton
actually.
coming up onto a back mark now. He's on
And
Walker,
the
Woodward.
change has happened whilst we've been checking on Rossi Brown's situation. The change has happened, Jacob. Bailey Stewart Campbell has got onto the back of Jack Worth and already passed him. And he sets a lap that is some 1.3 seconds faster to boot. Now, there's only 3 laps left. The gap's only 7.8 seconds. It's a tall order, but if the pace of Bailey Stewart Campbell keeps improving like this, is even Zach Shelton's seemingly insurmountable lead, or unchallengeable lead, is even that at risk. Here he is putting the lap on Jack. It is Jack Kirsch, isn't it? Absolutely, as he goes onto the back straight. But we've got to keep one eye on the pace here of Bailey Stewart Campbell, because if he can break away from Jack Worth and really get on it and be cleaner through the traffic, what is the gap going to be as they cross the line this time?
He's lost a lot of time there.
He has, through the traffic, hasn't he? And the gap's now down to 3.5 seconds. 4.3 seconds were taken out of the lead on that lap alone. A new fastest lap of the race for Bailey Stewart Campbell, a 54.5. And now it's a question of how cleanly can he work his way through the traffic. The changing surface of the track appears to have come back to the Metrakit riders here at Llandow. And we've got just 2 laps left. And I wonder if Zach Shelton knows quite how much pressure is being brought to bear on him by Stewart Campbell at the moment. Shelton has been riding so well. He was off like a greyhound out a trap at the start of this race. As through the oh no, something's happened. Something's happened. Jack Worth's got him back. Oh, well, cancel everything I just said. Drama then of some description, at least, for Bailey Stewart Campbell. Maybe got balked in the traffic. And now this young man, Zach Shelton, has surely only got to guide it round gently, because he's on the last lap.
Yeah, Jack Worth has cleared the traffic. Bailey Stewart Campbell tries to go up the inside of the hook. Doesn't quite make it, so it's Jack Kirsch, it is, who initially had good pace this morning. Bailey Stewart Campbell is struggling to get past him. Race lead now with Shelton. Looks to be safe from Jack Worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Here he is in the bottom part of the track, going around the right-hander at Chandler's. No, sorry, excuse me, going through the Dell already and on to the... No, that's Rossi Brown. There we go. Well done, guys on the camera, picking that up. Through the Dell he now goes, and onto the hanger straight. Well, he got the dream start, didn't he, from second place on the grid, and Zach Shelton is going to round the final corner to take a dominant win here in the IMR Racing UK Mini GP 140s. Who's going to come round to finish second? It's going to be Jack Worth. Well-deserved result for him in second place. And there is Bailey Stewart Campbell, the first of our riders on the Metrakit equipment there. He takes third overall and wins in that subclass. Then we'll look for Rossi Brown, who, well, might be a case of what might have been there, but he still, I think, rode on the whole very well and will come round to take 4th place. Then it'll be Jack Kirsch and Joe Woodward, and then Ollie Walker. But even the riders there towards the back of the field can hold their heads up high, because they had a good race-long battle with each other as well. Another entertaining race, Jacob.
Yep, fantastic stuff. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we are going to be going on to the Fun Bikes and M2R Junior SM140 and the Junior Stock Mini 65s.